Now we're on day 50 of my goal to become the heaviest marathon runner in the world. Like I said last week, I haven't been reporting every single day like I'm supposed to. I've been busy with a lot of stuff, but I will say that I am seeing a lot of improvement with my running. In terms of the lifting, my bench is still kind of around the same, 355 for about 2. I say it's a little bit better because I did try a third rep on last Saturday, July 18th. So I was feeling a little bit stronger. The weights were moving a little bit easier. Same thing with, my arm strength, and also my squatting's feeling quite a bit better. So pretty soon, I'm gonna see if I can get a 500-pound squat within like several months, which isn't inconceivable. It might be possible. The running was seeing a lot of improvements. Before I was having a tough time keeping it going because my heart just didn't want to keep moving. So it was like the beginning stages of running where it feels miserable before you get I wouldn't call it runner's high, but when you start to enjoy the running. That's what I'm starting to feel now, where running is a little bit more comfortable and pleasant as opposed to just kind of irritating and not fun at all. Which happened when I gained 40 pounds going up to about 225 pounds. Yesterday on Sunday, I did run just maybe like 6.5 miles, roughly 6.5. It was a very slow pace. I wasn't trying to go very fast. Today I was supposed to run zone 2 again, but I didn't because I just forgot. I accidentally ran the faster alternating run instead of doing the zone 2 running, which is fine because I just went a lot better than expected. I wouldn't say that I did. On that run I do alternating between 8.5 miles an hour and 6 miles an hour, 3 minutes for each one. I didn't do a full 3 minutes at every 8.5 miles an hour pace, but I was keeping it going for quite a bit longer than usual, almost the entire hour. So, the first time I did maybe 3 minutes, and then I took 3 minutes off jogging 6 miles an hour, and I did another 3 minutes of, I don't think 3 minutes, a minute and a half or 2 minutes at 8.5, and I slowed down to 6, and I started running faster again, then I slowed down again. Did that for most of it. So even though I didn't hit the actual targets of 3 minutes at 8.5 miles an hour, I didn't really have to stop much, which is just showing much better in my cardiovascular systems, my heart, my lungs, all that. And I was feeling a lot more comfortable doing the running, which means that it looks like I have maybe a week and a half roughly until the end of the month. So I'm not saying it's impossible for me to hit the initial target of lasting the entire hour, alternating 3 minutes at a time, but it's more questionable, I'd say. Still a lot of progress compared to before, at least for today, not really so much for the past couple weeks, but I suppose it's possible that I hit the target this month. If not, I have to question whether I want to continue for this target next month, or if I want to make the target 9 miles an hour, fast pace, 6.5 miles an hour, slow pace. I think I'll probably move up regardless, just because this was a bad month. It's not for my running ability, it's more just the run's not going as well and the rapid weight gain. So I do think that regardless, I can probably handle 9 miles an hour for long enough to make it worth it, and then 6.5 miles an hour will still feel slow. When I run 8.5 miles an hour, I still breathe fine. My heart rate's pretty high, I will say that, but I can breathe fine. So it is very possible that if I just try to attempt in the beginning, it's not going to be that much worse than running the 8.5 miles an hour and 6 miles an hour paces. So it might just be kind of the same, in which case maybe I can still get that by the end of the month. So I might still make that my goal regardless. And with that said, my weight is higher than before. I've been eating roughly 6,000 calories a day, sitting around 225 to 230 pounds. I hit my highest weight this week, which was 228.8 pounds, so right under 230. And then after that, while still weighing about the same. That's what I usually weigh before bed. I've still been running 6 miles most days, or like 5 miles, 6 miles, whatever it is. But the running's going better. No shin splints anymore. No aches in my body. My tendons aren't hurting yet. We'll see how that goes. And my heart is finally getting back to where it was, where it wants to run for hours again. So that's good. My body's kind of bouncing back, and I'm at record high weights. So I might even be able to push the weight a little bit higher. And I will also say that with how running 8.5 miles an hour feels, which of course that speed was picked because that's how fast I have to run the Boston Marathon. And the fact that I don't run out of energy running for an entire hour. I do think that my goal to run a sub 3-hour marathon at more than 230 pounds should be pretty easy. Not easy, but I think it'll happen in time. Possibly sub 240 at some point, but that's a conversation for another day. We're still far away from that, but the pace does feel a lot easier. And I will mention that when all those scientists and kinesiologists and like exercise researchers and all that, when they say that being heavier negatively impacts running, I'm not going to say it helps, because it's still more weight to carry, but when I gained 40 pounds, I didn't feel like my lungs were struggling, or my heart rate went up a little bit, but I also wasn't able to run in that time. But running 8.5 miles an hour felt the same at 185 as it does at 225 pounds. So I don't fully buy into the belief that you need to be small to run marathons. I think that your body's going to adapt. Because you can say you're going to feel heavier. Maybe I felt a little bit heavier on my feet for a little while when I was gaining the weight, but now I don't. I feel just as light on my feet as I did at 185 pounds, but I'm 40 pounds heavier. But I was running a lot, so I do think that you'll feel lighter on your feet at heavier body weights if you run enough, right? Your body's going to adapt. Same thing, I think your heart rate's going to come down. My heart rate's already been dropping a lot. And then your breathing, again, they say your VO2 max is going to take a big hit. It's going to be difficult to get all the oxygen into your lungs. I don't really notice a difference. I can still run the paces from before pretty close to now. I was a little bit better at running in the beginning, but not because of my weight is making it difficult to breathe or anything, or getting rid of heat. Heat dissipation was another one. Not because of any of those reasons, more just that I haven't been able to run as much in the past, or not the past 4 months, but the first 4 months of the year, and I've been picking it up. But it doesn't feel like my body had any negative impacts from the weight gain once your body gets used to it. You just need to run on it for a little while, right? You're not going to match your pace before right away if you just gain 40 pounds. But if you keep running, like if you're running 10 miles a day on it, then as long as you don't get injured, your body's going to adapt to it and run just like it did when you were at a smaller body weight. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. I do think I'll hit the 3-hour marathon at more than 230 pounds. And even then, the goal before was 210 pounds. So I'm just moving the weight up. And I don't really bother to lose the weight either because, again, I don't really feel like I need to. Your body just gets used to the heavier weight. So I don't really know if it'll even help me. If anything, it'll make it harder because I'm trying to bench over 400 pounds too. I'm pretty close, probably like 20 pounds off. So, losing weight now might make it more difficult to lift heavy weights. But at the same time, it might not even provide any benefits to running or negligible benefits. But you can keep getting faster at heavier weights. You just have to, let your body adapt to it. So, that's all I really need to say for this video. Strength is looking pretty good, feeling stronger. Body weight's higher. I also feel like I started to lean out this body weight a little bit, probably because of the 1-hour runs. That have been pretty steady the entire time. It's great cardio. I always get like a leaner look when I run a lot. So 225, 230 pounds, record high weight of 228.8 pounds this week. On top of that, running a lot, looking leaner because I've been running a lot, feeling a little bit stronger. So overall, good results. But I still need to get the distance up. I'm only running about 5.5, 6 miles a day for the past, the past 2 days have been that. Before that was maybe I'll do 40 minutes. So maybe it was like 3 miles, 4 miles, whatever. But I need to get back to what I was doing before, which is at least 12 miles a day. Maybe eventually I can get up to like 20 miles a day. But right now we're just trying to get the heart moving again. And then as soon as I feel good about the heart, I might be able to go right back up to 10 miles an hour minimum every day. Because I used to run 2 hours a day. But even that, I need to be a little bit careful with, because I can't increase the distance too much too fast. Otherwise, that can damage the tendons in my legs, the knee, the ankle, and then that can just be a huge setback for later on. So I do think that, when I do fully adapt, which is coming pretty soon, and I can increase the distance a little bit, and my heart's feeling good, and my body and my mind wants to do it again, I think I'll be running more than 10 miles a day without issues, unless the tendons tell me to back off, which is a possibility because of how much I weigh. If it does that, I'm just going to listen. So that's all I have to say for this one. A lot of progress with running. I'm very proud with the way the running has been for the past couple days, especially. Before that was a little murky, but the past couple days have been great. And I'm seeing a lot of progress. And I'm excited to see what happens for the rest of this month, and more importantly, what happens next month. And that's all I'm going to say for this video.